Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, November 14th, 2023, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tomorrow night around 9 p.m., give or take. It'd be interesting to find out just how many civilizations were before us and how they lived and what technologies they carried. There's been a lot kept from the people of this planet, at least this civilization, and where we're at as a people. The moment you start seeing life as non-serious, a playfulness, all the burden on your heart disappears. All the fear of death, of life, of love, of everything disappears. One starts living with a very light weight, or almost no weight. So weightless one becomes, one can fly in the open sky. Osho. It's very true that we do take these lives that we have, because there's multiple, we take it very seriously. We embrace life is serious, rather than fun and open-hearted about it. We don't play. And I'm not talking about, the play that society dictates, that type of thing. But, play. Remember when we were kids? We played. We didn't really need anything to play, did we? We just played. And we had a great time. And we didn't worry, stress, or fear. That is taught. It's okay. We are taught these things. Why? Well, because the people that teach us or program us, that's what they were taught. And for thousands and thousands of years, that's what they were all taught. Life's serious. Got to work really hard to get by, to make a living, earn a living, earn the right to live, earn the right to eat, earn the right to be healthy. It goes on and on and on. But it's a structure. It is a configured structure. It is designed to keep us in a kind of self-induced prison. We create the prison, of course, through subliminal messaging and other information that we see or hear, taste or smell. And the diversity is so massive. And what you believe, it's like what you believe to you is the truth, right? And we have this huge facade throughout the civilization. It's gone on for a very long time. In fact, I believe it's gone on from day one. We don't, when we're kids, we're curious. We're curious about everything, obviously. Okay? And we ask a lot of questions, and we keep asking questions, and we don't stop. Because it's childlike curiosity. But as we progress, so to speak, the body, ages, we go what the label is, adulthood, right? And then we have to get serious. We have to. Why do we have to? Well, that's what society says. We've got to get serious. If we don't get serious, then we'll be big failures in life. And it's like, have you ever been in a situation where, you're lighthearted and you're just having a good time, and someone says, don't you ever take anything seriously? Life is a serious thing. It's nothing to joke about. And it is, though. See, that's the whole point. It is. And then why does that person bark at you? Well, because they're disappointed in themselves of the fact that they follow what? The societal construct. You've got to be this way and this way and this way and this way. Now, if you step out of that norm, whatever that norm, you step out of that norm. And you've probably come across people, maybe yourself, that just said, I just don't care to play this game. I'm not interested in it. I'll be who I am. And people like it fine if they don't fine. It's no big deal. And then we have fear, see. We have fear. What is the number one thing that we all fear? We fear, in different ways, different shapes, rejection. So what we extend ourselves to what? Most of us, not all of us, but most of us, to fit in. Most of us strive that we want to be liked, right? We do. We want to be liked. We don't care to be disliked or even hated. We are more, and that's, I believe it's across the board. That the majority of us want to be, we want to be liked. We want to be accepted into society, which we've created through the years. The human psyche is a society. So let's say that when you were first waking up to things, right? You probably remember that. You'll never forget it. When you start waking up to things and things start coming more into clarity and you start realizing that, hey, all this stuff that I thought was really isn't. And I want to know what really is. And see, at that step, you go, I've been looking outside of myself for no telling how many lifetimes. But now, I want to look inside. I want to meet the real me. And I'm not afraid. That's crucial because many people don't because they fear. What do they fear? It's so crazy because fear is an illusion. But fear serves a good purpose because without fear we wouldn't have courage. It motivates us, let's put it that way. In a lot of ways it'll motivate us. Some ways it won't, but it does. The pros outweigh the cons. And, we go along and we become attached, right? And what happens when we become attached? We suffer. We experience pain, stress, anxiety, forlornness, sadness, disappointment, happiness, joy. But what do you think it would be like is that you meet someone, you love them, right, okay, and they understand too, so that's important, and they meet you and they love you because they both love themselves, and they know it's temporary. They know it's temporary. That relationship's temporary. You're not going to be with that body and the two bodies, you're not going to be in those bodies forever. So you enjoy it. You enjoy the interaction. You enjoy the life. And if you aren't enjoying it, then leave it. Don't you see, there's so many people that are stuck in this merry-go-round pattern where they engage, they get stuck, and they stay together forever. And they're miserable. I asked this one couple, I said, why do you stay together? Why are you together? Well, after so many years, it becomes a habit. And we're used to each other, so we stay together. Yeah, but there's no spark there. Don't you guys realize that? That you don't have that. Oh, you don't need the spark after a while. You're just together. Companions, you just kind of hang together, that type of thing. And a lot of people do that. Maybe you had parents that did that. Or you've seen a couple sitting at a table or maybe for breakfast or something, and they don't say a word. Even the young couples that are at dinner and they're on their smartphones and they aren't interacting either with each other. They're just on their smartphones texting. And who knows, they could be texting each other. It's crazy. But it's for us to discover, what is it that we all, a lot of the times we don't gravitate to? Who and what we are. Most of the people on this planet don't know who and what they are. It's not negative. It's an experience. Will they get it? Will they get it this life? Some won't. They'll go into another life and another, depending on how long it takes them to figure it out. And when you realize that you, the God that you are, is pure, omnipotently powerful, love, light, energy. That's what we all, isn't it amazing that that's what we really are in these bodies? Pure light energy, pure consciousness, the God, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God, the one, all within us. That's what we truly are. Yet, we have a propensity to gravitate towards the body. Isn't that true? We do gravitate towards the body. We gravitate towards physical, out there, material, physical world. We gravitate to that. It's easy to slip. When you go out of it, when you come out and you know that you've done a lot with the physical material world through lifetimes, then you come into yourself and say, I'm happy with that. But now I go within. That's where the true existence of me is. I go within. I stop suffering. I stop fearing. And I have one heck of a good time while I'm in this body. I don't mean abuse yourself or anything like that. I just mean just naturally have a good time. Enjoy every single moment. Why do you think we're always talking about the now? The reason we talk about the now is because that's where it all begins. For us, the part of the journey that goes within us. Seek the God out within that you are. And I know this for some people it kind of seems a little strange because of the fact that how can you're in this body, you look at your hands, you look around you and everything, but it's not you. So this body is not me, so what am I? If I'm not the body, then what is there? You're the God within the body. Yeah, us gods need, we want a physical body so that we can experience material physical life. And look at all the joys that you've had just in this lifetime. Remember, there was a time when you did eat a hamburger that it was a real hamburger. It actually came from a cow. And it wasn't polluted, but you ate it and it was wonderful. The taste buds, the feeling it gave you. All these different things that we experience in the physical material world, phenomenal. We don't say we couldn't do that as gods. Right? Can you imagine? All right, now you start to understand why we are so attracted to physical material as gods. We don't smell, we don't taste, right? We don't eat. We don't, a bouquet of roses, fragrant roses, we don't smell them. I mean, we don't hold them. We don't have any of that. We're pure light, pure cosmic energy. So why do you think there are physical forms throughout this universe and all universes? Because there's thousands of them. Thousands of universes. Millions of universes. Billions and trillions of universes. So how is it that we have all these life forms throughout existence that gods inhabit? Okay, so you meet a Pleiadian. What's inside their body? God. Arcturian, Andromedan. God. Even Draco Reptilian. God. Isn't it amazing? There's no escaping it. Sure, you can act violent, territorial, destructive in physical form, not knowing who and what you are. And then you build up what we call karma. You see, in our own way, we end up attuning for whatever we do for thousands of lifetimes. I had the question posed to me, how old are we? And not the body. We all know that. The God. How old are we? We're infinity. See, even when a soul, let's say a God, is actually formed with consciousness, because all of us have consciousness. All of us. So how do we come in, right, as a God, the soul? God's within the soul. How does that happen? We all have consciousness. We're always expanding and growing. We never end. And are there gods that are formed from consciousness that haven't experienced physical material life? In a way, yes, and in another way, no, because we all experience through all the rest of us. That's how it works. We're all one. So each of us experience, and in this physical material life, we experience lots of things. We create them, but most of the time we don't know we create them. Who created demons? We did. Who created all of these people that do bad things? We did. It's funny how the illusion of separation is very powerful. And when you actually are immersed in it lifetime after lifetime, you really don't know it's an illusion. You believe that, no, this is real. Is there anything that is solid matter? No. Well, this steel wall is solid. It appears to be. Well, why can't I put my hand through it? Because the molecular structure of the metal is arranged so it appears solid. So your brain and everything is solid. You can't go through it. Now, if you alter that molecular structure within that metal, you could walk right through it. If you change the molecular structure of your physical vessel, you could walk right through it. It's absolutely fascinating when you start to realize that instead of us spending time worry, stressing, and fearing, is to say, I'm liberating myself from the body, from the ego mind. That's my mission for myself. I do not believe to be in this body and not enjoy this life. And with the ego mind, you do enjoy things. Yes, you do. You do have fun and everything with the ego mind. But it never lasts. And so it's almost like an addict. We got to get in our fix. This wear off. I'm going to get something else, or I'm going to do something else. And just like the ego mind, as it controls us, we're constantly looking for more, something better. Aren't we? And then we say to ourselves, we go, well, I got to get better. I'm not good now, but I know I can get better. You're perfect exactly the way you are. And our attention is brought to that, and we go back to what? Society. Society dictates. Is society ego-mind driven? For the most part, yes. Is the human psyche ego-mind driven? Yes, for the most part it is. This is why we have so many conflicts happening on this planet right now. +20, 30 maybe, wars. Why does all that occur? Ego mind. Ego mind is master. That's why certain people do the things they do. You ever feel it? Do you feel it? We all feel it. I don't believe any of us are exempt from it. I think that we're growing more and more into the awareness of it, that we know it's an illusion, that we become more mindful of our thoughts, and we know when an ego mind thought comes in, and we know a feeling that we get of what? Something that we respond, that first we respond to inside, right? Somebody says something or does something, and you have this real strong pull from the ego mind is to rebut it. Prove somebody wrong so you can be right. That's ego mind. You ever notice how much that there is? Remember, we are all teachers and students amongst each other. There isn't anybody that doesn't come into your life that's there to teach you something. And this doesn't mean that they know that, but that's the way we all are. We're helping each other, but we don't know it. We teach each other things. Relationships, interactions, acquaintances, strangers. And you ever had it where a child will say something to you and it rings, clear as a bell, that it hits you? And you say to yourself, I never thought about that. That's really true. So we're interacting. We just aren't too conscious about it. We begin to realize that we can create anything we choose to create. Good, bad, and indifferent. This is why we start to realize is that I've chosen to monitor and be mindful of my thoughts, because most of the thoughts that come in, they aren't ours. They really aren't. We're so preoccupied with other people's thoughts, and we're so preoccupied living a life with other people's thoughts that we embrace them. We believe that they're our thought, right? We send thoughts out. Those are our thoughts. The thoughts that we send out, we are delivering our thought to the universe, and it responds. So it's like if you're not in a good mood, and we've all been there more than once, and when you start to fade out, in other words, you seem to get more irritated, more frustrated, and then something else happens to cause that to even blossom out more, because you're creating it, but you don't know that you are. And see, you're the only one that can shift that. Nobody else can. You can, though. You can say, okay, I understand. And you're gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. So you say, I understand. So that when you focus on your breath and you go into the now, like you will in this meditation in the quiet time, and you go into the now, and you just listen to your breath, and you're in a fixed position like a statue, and you're in a comfortable range position, and that's it. And then you send a thought out to the universe. You ask specifically, in detail, what it is you truly want. And you have the confidence, trust, and faith in yourself that's unshakable. And the universe. So when you send this thought out, you're not attached, okay? Not attached to the outcome of the thought. You're not wondering what the universe is going to do about that thought. Will the universe deliver it or won't it? None of that comes in. Because as soon as you send that thought out clearly and cleanly, without attachment, without expectations, it'll be delivered. In fact, it will begin manifesting immediately when you do that. But when you get the feeling of being fearful that you might lose it because you didn't have it, so you're going to lose it, or it won't happen, that negates it right there. Stops it. Dead in its tracks. And since we've been so programmed for so long, it does take every ounce of courage that you can possibly muster to transcend. And then when you say, well, I'm in this body temporarily, and I'm not the name, personality, or any of that stuff. I'm the God within it. And I'm having one heck of a good time. And it isn't, see, then you begin to realize it's not about right and wrong. It's not about, ego mind always wants to be right. Who cares? Really? Who cares? Who's right? Who's wrong? You ask yourself, what is important to you in this life? What is most important to you in this life? Be totally honest with yourself. Drop all the masks and ask yourself that one question. What is the most important thing for me in this life? Now, in the lay of the land on this planet, we all know that gods leave the body and come into body. Okay? We've all experienced it. We've experienced it ourselves many times, as well as others. And when someone leaves, the reason that there is so much depression, anxiety, stress, forlornment, loneliness, is because we become so attached to the physical, material. I mean, super attached. Then when that body ceases, we're devastated. Now, when we learn that the body is temporary, and we know that it's temporary, not just to say it, we know deep within the heart mind that the body is temporary. You know, having a loving relationship is temporary. You leave it all. Okay? You leave it. The only thing that you ever carry with you is all that you'll ever need, ever, beyond, and forever. And that is the God that you are within the body. When you look at a sunset, looking at a sunset, just for a second, you forget your separateness. You are the sunset. That is the moment when you feel the beauty of it. But the moment you say that it is a beautiful sunset, you are no longer feeling it. You have come back to your separate, enclosed entity of the ego, Osho. Most of us take every breath for granted. Every breath. The magic about these bodies is the breath. Now, we all know that one day we will leave the body. And right now, how it's set, we have no idea when. It's always a great surprise, in most cases. Usually there's no warning. So stop all your previous social habits. Let down your guard. And allow others to see and know the real person you are. And you can learn how to open your heart with anybody you meet. This means learning how to let love in and share this bright light that you have inside you with them. You have no idea how it may change their life, or yours for the better. Just do it. Who knows? They could be your last opportunity to love. It's so vitally important that we seize this precious life that we all have right in this now moment. Death will be arriving on its own time schedule and not according to anyone's plans. 1 minute you're a child, right? 1 minute your child is alive. The next minute, they're gone. This is one of the basic facts about this life. It ends. The minute we accept this hardcore truth, every moment of our lives becomes emotionally rich, spiritually juicy. We discover a sweet reverence for life, and we stop taking every breath for granted. Have you ever just laid in bed, like in the morning before you go to bed, and sit and feel the reality of impermanence. For like 10 minutes, feel how everything is impermanent. Feel this deep within you, your bones. Nothing and no one in this world is going to remain here forever. Let it penetrate your head, your heart, gut. This is a very ancient meditation practice. Doing it for at least 3 weeks in a row will transform your life in the most amazing ways. Now, there is a deep emotional and spiritual release when we realize how everything is impermanent. Notice how you become different when you realize everything around you will one day be gone. Do what you can to remain aware of the impermanence of everything throughout your day. And you will discover the greatest freedom arising within you. You'll naturally start tapping into your deepest connection to that divine essence, which continues after this body is gone. When this occurs by itself, you will always be appreciating this incredible, deeply eternal loving of existence. Accepting our physical mortality is one of the greatest spiritual practices we can take on. As we embrace the fact that nothing is permanent in this world, a sacred humility takes over. The over-demanding ego is embarrassed as it sees the futility of its super important plans. Only through this humble approach to existence can we find stillness, spiritual freedom, and enlightenment. All other non-humble spiritual paths have some sneaky ego still hiding and holding on in the background. Misery nourishes your ego. How do we know this? Well, that's why we see so many miserable people in this world. The basic central point is the ego. Emotional. Death is the most fierce and deeply penetrating spiritual teacher that we can have. It will not let our ego escape alive. Death will always be waiting around the next corner. You know what? You could be immortal. And you could walk around a corner and not be looking and get hit by a bus. Okay? You don't know. It will not let our ego escape alive. Death will always be waiting around the next corner, ready to wipe our entire life clean. It will remove all material possessions from us, all wounds, all people, all our financial problems and future plans. It is guaranteed that one day everything will be removed from our grasp. No matter how safe we think we are, this hard truth will remain, perhaps, because it has the most profound purpose for our spiritual growth. It forces us to remain awake. We must choose to always appreciate this human life we are given. We have to find reverence, otherwise we suffer. Knowing how very fragile this life is, we become kind to everything that is alive. By remembering our mortality, we are not so quick to getting angry at our loved ones, nor become distant, judgmental, or critical with them. We tend to forgive everyone who has wronged us more quickly and return to loving the real heart and soul connection that we do have. with this awareness that death is approaching, we become more gentle on ourselves. Have you ever noticed that with people? Huh? They have an epiphany or something happens and it totally changes them. With the awareness that death is approaching, we become more gentle on ourselves, instantly dropping any hard, heavy energy that we may be carrying. We tend to deal with any leftover skeletons hiding in our closet and embrace those things we are avoiding. We remember that we came here to heal ourselves, and so we stop protecting our hearts from opening up to others. We become radically honest with ourselves and others, because we just never know when it's our turn to go. So here's something this week, truly radical. Share with those who are still with you today how you honestly feel. Maybe challenging, yet tell them what is going on inside you. Reveal everything and clear off your emotional plate. Be free to say anything you cannot speak about or say. You just don't know when your best friend's family member or child will die, do you? You know, when a soul leaves the body, a spirit, whatever you want to call it, do you know what the concern is, the residual effect? That they didn't say this, they didn't do this, they wish they would have done this, they wish they would have spent more time with their kids, they wish they would have done this, they wish they'd have been a better father, they wish they'd have been a better mother. All of that stuff. This is what consumes them. But then it's too late, because they've already left that life. Let them know how much you actually love them. Rise above any social games you are playing. Stop being afraid of being ridiculed or getting rejected. Take the risk to celebrate your life. Enjoy your short, precious time here together. You truly don't know when it is going to come to a quick end. You ever been talking to somebody and you say, I was just speaking with them. Now they're gone. Have you noticed? How long? Maybe you've noticed it. I don't know. Maybe. But you remember when people had a zest. They had a zestfulness. They were alive. They were vibrant. They were excited about things. Man has lost one quality, the quality of zestfulness. And without zest, what is life? Just waiting for death? Can't be anything else. Only with zest do you live. Otherwise, you vegetate. Oh, so how many people are vegetating? There's only one thing any of us can do to transcend death. Embrace it. With welcoming it fully, you will eventually find your way to real inner peace. This acceptance does not mean to start taking more apathetic actions in your life. This is about finding more reverence in everything. Everything is sacred. When we discover this tremendous appreciation for the simple things, like this breath that is still flowing through our lungs, we will see the fear of living and dying quickly dissolve. Because that's what a lot of people are. They fear living and they fear dying. That's crazy. When we have a deep reverence for life, this life, let's say, we naturally take advantage of every moment to feel that we are alive. We finally arrive into this precious now moment of our life. where all the puzzle pieces snap into place and everything comes to perfection. We can truly rest here. This is the only place. We can let go of it all and fall into resonance with our true spiritual nature. Take this moment right now to feel into this spiritual essence inside your body. Feel that energy that will remain when your body is gone. Can you feel this eternal energy? The infinite self is here. And if you can find it and reconnect to it all day, you'll soon realize that heaven is already here now. The spiritual effervescence will expand in you and send bubbles of light-filled joy into your heart. Open your life to these bubbles. And you wonder why you were pretending to be so worried, fearful, and concerned about everything in your life. Join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Dive all the way in. Explore going down to the bottom of your deepest, darkest trench and muck inside. There you will discover that which will lead you deeper to your core. Just for 5 minutes today, sometime. Hang out with your dark stuff. Get to know it. Get to know its vibration. Being with the contracted parts of yourself assists you in knowing what it is you are to transcend. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Wednesday, November 15, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call, and around 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you.